And here is part 8 of David Lovins, age 24. I don't know if this is the last yet. We'll see.
No one else. Does it have any value or meaning to? And when I took my sociology class, they talked a lot about families and deviance, and of course that brings up the all-American dysfunctional family. In a lot of respects, and what I know about dysfunctionality, my family is as dysfunctional as the next. So it's certainly time for healing. I think as we grow older, our wounds get healed. But I had open wounds from my family up until I was 21, 22, 23. That's how bad it hurt. It's only been the last couple of years where I've been content. And that's, of course, because I haven't been around them.
Were those...
Living in my family was like constantly having nails driven into you. It was.
So I guess you're the first couple of art pieces you've done were sort of like therapeutic, to kind of get you through the healing process.
My art was never that. I don't think. We just did it because my grandmother had her school, Hollywood Art Center School, and she would set up easels for us, and it just became natural for us. We'd go over to her house, she'd set up easels, we'd paint. And we saw this as very normal. As natural as breathing or walking. You draw a picture, hey, you flip on the TV, hey, you eat dinner. It wasn't different than any other activity.
Were there any specific pieces you drew for any member of your family, or was it just like...
I just wrote a poem to my sister and wrote it on the back of an envelope and sent it to her. And poetry is not something in our family at all. We didn't get into poetry. So I think I'm the first one out of the 8 kids to venture into poetry. But this gets back into the old Greek equation of artist equals maker equals poet. In ancient Greece, they considered an artist, part of an artist's job was also to be a poet. And I'm really into bringing and updating ancient ideas and put them in a modern context. So I think these are innate human qualities which should be revitalized. It's part of the ancient myth. We're all part of myth. We all have underlying myth in our psyche that somehow it gets passed on from generation to generation, and very few are able to write it down. I'm really into this myth that underlies our very existence. And I'm reading The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. And he was really into myth like that. Perhaps he went overboard and focused too much on the old as opposed to how it relates to the 20th century man.
Are you saying more of the myths are truer than the actual truth?
I just think that myth and the subject thereof is a connecting factor even between the three of us in this room. We've all heard of Zeus and Athena and Thor and Odin. And we've all caught snippets of different myths from different civilizations. But it's not something we'd really talk about. We just share this knowledge. Just as the Bible is a common experience in one way or the other. Just as a certain television show 12 years ago would have significance. We never talk about it, but it's there. Or an event. We all have feelings about Watergate or Vietnam, even though we're not old enough to have actually gone there. But we have feelings about certain rock bands from the 60s or 70s that our parents listened to. I have to answer the door. I think someone's here.
You want me to stop the tape for now?
Sure. I think you should do a pan. Get the light on now. I think you should get a pan shot of all these people.
She turns around.
It's your birthday. Now, happy birthday.
Thank you very much. And I'm already almost done. A couple more.
You guys like to...
Yup, there's more.